Fourth, according to official documents, Kim Jong-il learned to walk at the age of 3 weeks. While attending university, Kim also, according to official documents, wrote 150,000 books, including 6 great operas. According to his official biography, all of his operas are the best in music history. Next, his athletic achievements. In 1994, Pyongyang media reported that when Kim visited a golf club for the first time, he completed 38 holes, 11 of them in one shot, all in front of 18 personal bodyguards. After that, he decided to retire from the sport for good. Kim wasn't just serious about athletic competition. Supposedly, the North Korean soccer team was publicly mocked for losing the 2010 World Cup for 6 hours. Better not play soccer in that country. Fifth, the success rate of this country's space company is 20%. This is a very strange statistical figure, as it is not clear what kind of success is meant. We think it refers to satellite launches, because out of the 5 launches made by North Korea, only 1 has successfully reached orbit. However, the North Korean government claims that there is another satellite that went into orbit in 1998 and is now sending patriotic songs into space for science. You probably think that concentration camps no longer exist after the end of World War II. If so, you are sadly mistaken. Sixth, there are 50,000 men, women, children being held in a concentration camp in North Korea, used as slaves, tortured and experimented on as in the Holocaust. The number quoted here comes from an Amnesty International report in the 1990s. A guard who defected from North Korea suggested that approximately 2,000 people die of malnutrition each year at the Horiong concentration camp, but the number of inhabitants remains constant at 50,000, thanks to an equal number of newly elected prisoners. The same guard estimated that 30% of the prisoners have physical deformities such as missing limbs. 7. All teachers in the 1990s had to be able to play the accordion, and they had to pass an accordion exam before being certified to teach. This is a fact taken from a 2009 book, Nothing to Envy, which described the lives of 6 North Koreans for more than 15 years. Among them was one schoolteacher. Her accordion exam was postponed because of Kim Jong-il's death, and until she passed, she worked as a kindergarten teacher. The city designed to attract people is actually boxes with no windows and no interior. Kijongdong is a propaganda city that was built by Kim Jong-il's father in the 1950s on the country's border. It was meant to show the superiority of the North over the South and inspire people to defect from the South to the North. But in fact it had no residents. The government spent heavily, and every effort was made to give the appearance of a functioning city, including lights on the streets. A look through a good optic was enough to expose the city, whose glass buildings were essentially just boxes with a complete lack of any interior. The city also houses the world's largest flagpole. In addition to the empty buildings, North Korea has more loudspeakers that serve as propaganda for its southern neighbors. Those, in turn, have repaid in the same coin. Fortunately for everyone, both sides agreed to end it in 2004. What do you think should be the first thing to be saved besides yourself in the event of a fire or other emergency in North Korea? 9. Idolatry in North Korea is such that a portrait of Kim Jong-il is the second thing that citizens should normally save. In case of fire, after themselves. There are even special bunkers for the statue in case of war. You can't say for sure about the picture, but the 100% truth is that all the statues of the leaders are guarded by the armed forces, just like the real leaders of the country. Even we with our cat worship haven't gotten that far. 10th. North Korea is in the year 2023. It's 112th year there now. Because North Korea is counting down the years from the birth of Kim Jong-il, their Jesus. What about those things that happened before Kim was born? 11th. North Korean literacy is determined by the ability to spell Kim Jong-il. This may be true and is due to the fact that North Korea has a 99% literate population according to them. Obviously, almost no one believes this statistic, but the North Korean education system includes 11 years of compulsory schooling. Thus, it is possible that the average North Korean can actually read and write. Execution by mortar. And why not? 12th. That's just awful, isn't it? Yes, execution by mortar shell is used in North Korea, and that's a fact, but it's not particularly common. It was used on a top government official who didn't wait long enough to throw a party after Kim Jong-il's death, and was executed for lack of proper mourning. 13th. North Korea's constitution says, citizens are guaranteed freedom of speech, press, voice, demonstration, and association. This is of course true, and you can even read about the Korean constitution if you want. If you think this defies reality, you are completely wrong. But the document also contains some points that would seem less than democratic to a foreigner. For example, citizens must firmly guard political and ideological unity and solidarity between people, and work is a noble duty and honor for a citizen. 14th. North Korea's economy was bigger than South Korea's before the 1970s. Now the GDP is only 2.5% of South Korea's. North Korea's economy is even smaller than its own shadow. In 2011, the estimated GDP per person was about $1,800 per year, which is a bit less than, say, South Korea, which has a GDP per person of about $30,800. On the other hand, we're assuming there's not much to buy in North Korea. 15th. North Korea holds elections every 5 years, with only one candidate listed on the ballot. This fact hardly seems surprising, although we should note that while there is effectively only one candidate for any seat in the government, voters can technically veto a candidate. That means they can vote against someone by crossing out their name. But to do so, the voter must enter a special box where everyone can see the choice he's making. And rest assured, his last name is already on the blacklist. 16th. With only 605 internet users in North Korea, the use of computers and the internet seems to be increasing every day, though mostly limited to upper-class officials and students. For example, North Korea recently debuted its own operating system called Red Star, based on Linux. In addition, some even say that North Korea is undergoing a digital revolution, although on such a small scale that we think the word deviation would fit better than revolution. However, it has been claimed that North Koreans have a hand in the evolving software for everyone from Middle Eastern banks to Nintendo and Sony. Let us just say that we don't believe this one a bit. The insularity of modern North Korea can hardly be explained by a list of simple reasons. Partly it is a legacy of the past still in the process of being reinterpreted, partly ideology. In recent years, there have been signs of a loosening of the strict regime. Kim Jong-un, who became head of the country in 2012, immediately launched a series of economic reforms aimed at attracting foreign investment and encouraging the role of private business. But for all that, Korea's standard of living leaves much to be desired. Write in the comments what you would like to change in the structure of the DPRK, and do not forget to subscribe to our channel and put likes. Thank you all for watching.